Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today I want to do a guide on how to max characters. Now, I've done this guide a couple times on my channel, kind of updating it as the game updates, but what I want to do here is I want to do a guide showing kind of the simplified version. There's like an easier way to max out characters than the way I traditionally do it. So we have a brand new character I just pulled tonight, so we're going to upgrade Vice. So I'm going to show you like my characters fresh pulled, haven't done anything to them yet. We're going to do all the steps to completely max them out. So if you're a new player, I'm going to kind of explain how to do that and then talk about where some of the resources come from that you use to max out these characters. So what I would do first is I'm just going to go to my party tab here on the side and I'm going to find the character I want to upgrade. So we're going to grab Vice, who's right here. Now, when you're on this screen, the easy way to figure out how to get everything done is on the left side, there's a green button that says Enhance. So I'm going to kind of click here. You can kind of see where my clicker's going. The Enhance button is right there. So I'm going to click that, and this shows everything it takes to max out a character. So I understand it can be overwhelming for a new player because there are a lot of pieces that kind of go into this, right? So the first thing is you have something called Crystal level. The Crystal level is... they're going to start at level 70, and that was just an upgrade they added later on into the game to make it a little bit easier. But what it is they will literally, this guide will take you right to where you need to go, right? So there are cycle quests, and you can click the cycle quest button, and it will just take you there. And you would do the quest of that color, and you'll get all of the crystals you need except the highest level ones. To get the highest level crystals, you have to get that from co-op. So if you go into the event tab... So if you go into the event tab, which will be back on the home screen. So we'll go to the quest tab. And then you'll see events here in the bottom left. And then usually there'll be like a token challenge or like a co-op. But like if you go into here, and then you click like this little button on the left to go into the shop. So the way co-op quests work is you like do a bunch of fights. You can do them solo or with other people, but you earn points. And then in here, what you're looking for like crystal levels are these. So like these are the high level shards, and you can buy infinite amounts of those. So you have access to all that right away. So let's go back into Vice. And we'll go ahead and we'll upgrade the crystals right away since that's the part we talked about. So go back to Enhance. We'll go to Crystals. And then we'll just go into this Crystal Strength button here to enhance him. And once you have enough, you just go down to the bottom, click the bottom, and it's going to upgrade those all the way. So pretty simple. So crystals should never be an issue. It's fully grindable. There's nothing limited about it. It used to be limited, but now it's just infinitely grindable. So that's the crystals are done. And so you start at 70 and you'll go to 90. So that is done. Next, you want to upgrade the level. That's super easy. So you can upgrade the character like by doing... So the quests I just showed you to get crystals, you can just grind those. Otherwise, in the same area, there's a cactuar one where like you can get money. That's probably the better one for experience. Or the game is pretty good about just giving you level up materials. So I'm just going to click this level up button here and I have materials ready to go. But if you just bring the character into a party and you go into one of those crystal stages, they'll level up pretty quick. And you can use like ×2 EXP coupons to make that go faster, right? So I'm just going to click auto. It's going to max them out. Max level done. Perfect. So first two pieces done there. And then you rank up. This is another thing like new players don't understand. The rank up system works by the levels of your characters. So every 10 levels a character gains, you gain a rank. That's why like you might be confused as like when you load up the game and you get a bunch of characters, your rank just shoots up immediately because all characters start at level 70. So you get 7 ranks for free each time you get a new character, right? All right. And then with that, you get gems, which is nice, right? Okay. Next step. Next step is going to be training boards. So we'll just do those. We'll just do it in the order that they have it here, right? So training boards is going to be in 2 parts. So one part is enhancement boards. So let's do that first because that's kind of the easier one. So to do the enhancement boards, actually we have to do this later. So we'll come back to this because you have to max out their weapons first and then this will open up. So we'll come back to that. We can't do that one yet because we have to max out the weapons, which we're going to get to. But we can do the summon boards. Okay. So on the summon board, you're going to see here that there is basically each summon has its own section with points on it. Now you can earn points for the character by bringing them into the party and doing the quest. So let's just do one as an example. And I'm going to see if there's one that I don't have enough. No, I've got enough points for all of them. So we'll just go to like Leviathan. Okay. So if we click this and we click on World of Illusions Ultimate, this is where you grind out the points for this. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to do a quest. Now, if I want to earn quest points for a character, I have to bring them in the party, right? So I'm going to grab Vice, put him in the party, and you can just bring a stronger character to carry them, right? So then I'm just going to begin. Oh, one thing I'm going to do, and then also for support items, if you have it, you want to run EXP up items. The EXP is what determines how many points you get here. So like, there's a few things that determine the points. So let me just do the fight first, and then I'll explain it. So I'm not going to use a book here because I don't need to. But we're just going to hop into the fight. These fights are very easy. You can just have like a semi-leveled up character and you should be fine here. Or you can even just bring a friend and the friend will be able to one-shot the boss typically. These shouldn't be very hard. Like, your first goal as like a newer player is just try to get a character maxed out and they'll carry you through a ton of the game. Alright, so we'll wait for this fight to load up. It's taking its sweet time. It should be loading. Please, there it goes. You know, the game's a little laggy because Vice just dropped. Like, literally, I just freshly pulled him and I wanted to record this video, right? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just beat the boss, and this will just be like a quick little one-shot. We'll do an Octaslash. He should be out of here. Yep, okay. So I'm not going to sit and grind out all of it, but I want to explain how this point system works, right? So if you're a newer player. So basically, you need 6,500 points to max out that summon. So you got to earn 6,500 per summon. Now, when I go to this page here, okay, right here, it's going to show me how many points I get. So on the left side, it's showing how many points each character gets. And then on the right side, those are like all points. And those all points on the right side, you can actually just give those to any character if you want to. So since I have over 6,500 all points, I don't have to sit here and grind 6,500 for Vice. You can see Sephiroth has 6,900. So if I needed to max this out for Sephiroth, he would be done. Now, the way point scale is off of a few different things. One is if you're using an EXP coupon. Another one is if the character is EXP boosted. So you see Vice, it says EXP times 2. So if they're a featured character, they will get double points there as well. And then it's also based on if you have a Mog Pass subscription, and it's based on your rank. So the higher your rank, if you have a Mog Pass, and if the character is EXP boosted, and if you have a 2x coupon on or a 3x coupon on, those are all going to increase the points. So for someone like me that has everything maxed out, I have Premium Moogle Pass, if I run a triple book, I get like over 7,000 points in one run. So for me, I just do one run on each and they're done, right? So as you're a newer player, you're going to have to run it more times. But I wouldn't stress about it. It's something where you can just have it autoplay while you're doing something else, and then grind these up. This grind used to be really bad. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, right? All right, so we'll exit out of there. So you simply would just repeat that process until you have enough points for all of them, right? We're going to go back into Vice here, and we're going to upgrade those now and show you how that process works. So we're going to go here. We're going to hit Enhance. We're going to go back to training boards. So now what you have to do is for each of these summons, you have to upgrade them. So we're going to go into the summon boards at the bottom here to upgrade. So I press the summon boards button, and here's what you do. If like I would just click this and press auto and they would all fill if Vice had the points, but see Vice doesn't have them. I have to use the all points. So if you're using the all points, I click the green plus up here in the upper right corner. I'm going to click auto. It's going to give me the points, and I click auto in the bottom left and fill in. Okay. And then what you have to do is you have to go through and you have to pick passives. Now this part's going to be a little bit boring, but we're just going to go through it because actually, here's what I'm going to do. So you would just go through and you would upgrade all the boards that way. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to sit and take the time to do that because I want to keep this video more concise. But then you have to go and unlock these individual passives. Now, in terms of what passives you want to unlock here, pretty much it's like the bottom 5 or 6 are typically the ones you want to pick from. Usually things like attack, max brave up. There's a couple I give like max HP. I always pick those. But if you guys want to know like exact recommendations, you can go to Tonberry Troop and look at their infographics. They have good recommendations for all characters. But as you do it, you'll get used to it. Okay, so we'll go back here. So you'll see Vice here on that Ifrit. Now it says Master. So that process, you just have to do that for all 10 of those. This is probably the lengthiest part about maxing out a character. But like I said, it doesn't take that long, not nearly as long as it used to. All right, next let's go to Force Enhance. This is very easy. Force Enhance is just go to this page and upgrade if you have enough points to do it. Now, there's a couple of things that you have to do on Force Enhancements. You have to use 4 stones, and you have to use character enhancement points, which are also used on the character boards that I couldn't do yet. Now, character enhancement points, I'd say for newer players, this is one of the most important resources. This is a resource that they starve you on. So you're limited to 5,000 enhancement points per event. And the way you get them is when you go into an event, it'll actually show the points above the event name. And as you grind it, you'll earn more points. You just want to make sure you participate in that event enough until you max out the points. If you buy the $5 Mog Pass, you can get 15,000 points, so triple the points per event. If you go premium, then they give you 30,000 points per event, which is 6 times the amount of points. So for newer players, this is very important. And then the 4 stones, those also just kind of come from events. They're not a grindable material, so you want to make sure you kind of choose wisely the characters you want to max out with those 4 stones. You also get 4 stones like every time you max out an FR weapon, which we're going to demo in this video. You'll get 2 4 stones. To max force enhance a character, I'll click down here and it will show you we need 15,000 enhancement points, and then you need either 3 4 stones or 60 fragments. So you'll sometimes earn fragments and sometimes you'll earn the stone, but it'll be any combination of that, right? So we're going to go ahead and enhance that there. All right, and now force enhance 30 is done. Okay, so that part is done on Vice. Next one we're going to do is the weapons. This will take a little bit, right? So a character will have several different weapons. You're going to see 6 different weapons that a character has. There are some characters that actually have more than that, but this is what a standard character has. So we have a 15 CP weapon, a 35, an EX, an LD, an FR, and a BT. For the most part, you guys, when you're building characters, you pretty much want the full kits. Some characters you can go without the BT and they're still going to be pretty good. But like the LD, you don't want to be missing the LD. You don't want to be missing the LD, the 15, the 35. Like you pretty much want it all, right? So what we're going to do here is we're just going to click on this. And there's a couple things you can do. So the weapons, you have to either pull them from banners or some of them you can get with tokens, right? The most premium weapon is the burst weapon. It's the hardest to pull. You can only pull it on banners. Or with this, you can buy it with BT tokens. But they are very limited and it takes a long time to build them up. But you need 50 BT tokens. BT tokens can sometimes be obtained from events. They can be obtained when you buy the premium Moogle Pass, and they can be obtained from selling BTs. But otherwise, you got to pull this, okay? The BT, though, you do not need dupes of the weapon. The FR is pretty much only from banners. Once in a while, they will do like an FR token, but you have to pay like 75 bucks for it. Totally not worth it. So pretty much plan on pulling the FR. The LD, you pretty much have to pull this. Once in a while, they'll do an LD pack, but those are like 75 bucks, not worth it. And then the EX and the 35 and the 15, there are fairly obtainable tokens where you can get these, especially the 15 and 35. Those are red power tokens. Those are pretty easy to get. They're not farmable, but they give out a lot of them throughout the game. EX tokens are a little bit more limited, but you'll sometimes get these as rewards. You can also get these from the Cactuar shop for doing the daily Cactuar quest, right? Now, I went and I pulled the whole kit. I have everything. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go to the Enhance tab and start maxing these out. So this is the Enhance area here. And I'm just going to start at the bottom. Now, some of these weapons... All right, so here's Vice's 15. And let me see. I have... Whoops, I don't want to enhance the burst, though. We're going to go back here. So it took me literally right to enhancing the burst. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave this screen. I'm going to go a little bit old school here. I just want to go to the normal enhance screen. But what I like to do is if I go to the item exchange, because as a veteran, I have a huge excess of the power tokens, I like to buy dupes of the weapons. So the way the weapons work is you need 4 copies of a weapon to max it out for the standard weapons. But this game has a really nice power stone system where you can sell like other copies of weapons you don't need. And you can get power stones that can be used to upgrade weapons instead of dupes, right? So what I'm going to show you, because I'm a veteran and I've got a ton of these tokens, I have nothing to use these red power tokens on. So I always buy the dupes that I need. So in here, it'll tell you how many copies of a weapon you have. So this weapon here, I need 1 more. So I'm going to buy it. And then this weapon here, I only got 1, so I'm going to buy 3 of those. Okay. And then that should be good. All right, so let me go back into the Enhance tab. So we'll go back into Vice. And we'll go back to the Enhance tab here. We're going to go back down to his weapon passives. All right, so let's start at the bottom. Let's start with the 15. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to the Enhance screen. Click on... Why won't it let me go to the Enhance screen? What's going on here? Okay, we'll just go to the normal enhance screen. For some reason it's grayed out. I don't know what I did, but we're going to go to the enhance screen. All right, so we're going to go enhancements here on the right. And then we're going to go to Enhance Realize. And then we're on the Weapons tab here. So we're going to scroll all the way down. And I'll start at the bottom with the 15. So here's the 15. I'm going to click Confirm. So if you have the copies of the weapon, you limit break it like this by combining 3 in when you enhance it. And that's going to max it out. And then you have to use weapon orbs. Now, if you don't have copies of the weapon, you can hit this limit break button. And you can substitute these power stones instead if you want to. So you don't have to pull dupes of weapons as long as you have power stones to do it. You get those power stones just by selling other weapons that you have maxed out. And I'll show you this right here really quick. So we're going to hit these 3. And then we're going to say yes. We're going to say yes to limit break with those. And then we're going to go Enhance, Max. And we're going to hit Confirm. And we're going to say yes. And we're going to say yes. Okay. So the 15 CP, when it is done, it's going to turn blue like this. And it will have a red check mark. So the way this game works is you don't physically need to own all the weapons at once to have all the characters' kit. But once you max out a weapon, you now own that passive. So the passive that comes from this weapon, I own that now, and you see the red check mark there to confirm it. So this weapon, as long as it's not the main weapon they have equipped, I'm free to sell that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this, and then later on we'll sell it. Now we're going to go to the 35, so same thing. I'm going to click on it, limit break, hit orbs, max it out. We're going to go like that. Okay, so 35 now is done. Okay. And then we're going to go to the EX, which is here. Now, I'll show you guys how to do the Power Stone, because I don't want to buy dupes of the EX, because that's a little bit more expensive. So I'm going to go Limit Break, and then in here, I can hit Max, and it just takes, if you just have one copy of these base weapons, it just takes 12 Power Stones, which really isn't that much. So, yep, I'm going to put those on. Yep. Okay, so now we fully Limit Broke it, and then we just got to put the orbs in yet. You can do that in the same step. I just forgot to. So we'll go Orbs, Max out. These weapon orbs, by the way, the best way to farm these, to be honest, is just to grind co-op points, and you can infinitely buy these from co-op shops. So I would just say there are other places to get it, but like if I'm being realistic, just grind these in co-op. That's the best place to get them. Okay, so we're going to confirm. All right, so now the EX has an extra step. So after it goes blue, it'll say realizable, and some weapons do this. So they have an extra step. So you have to be careful, because even though you see the red check mark, this one is not safe to sell. There's another upgrade. So if it says realizable, you have to click confirm again. And then these have what are called books and ingots. So these realizable ones, you have to put a book in it. These books are pretty much just obtained from quests and missions. You can also buy these from the Moogle, the Daily Moogle shop if you need them. But the game's pretty good about giving you these at a decent rate, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put the book on. Yep. Perfect. And then it will become a plus version. And then I have to put ingots into it. So I got to limit break again, and I'm going to get these ingots. These ingots, once again, they're going to give you materials to make these, and you do it in the Enhanced tab. So I'll show you that in a minute here. Okay. So now I've put the 3 ingots into it, and then I can max it out. Once again, I could have did this in the same step. I misclicked. Okay. All right, so now it's purple. So when the EX is purple, that now is safe to sell. Okay. And with the EX, you'll get a sphere for the character, and that's something else that can be equipped to them. We'll show that in a minute. Okay. Let me just show you really quick since I'm on that topic. We're going to go to the Enhanced tab here. And in the Enhanced tab, there's a Refine button. So in terms of books and ingots, since I just talked about it, this is kind of where they come from. So there are books and ingots for the burst weapon. There are books and ingots for an armor that we're going to get to. And then there's some lower armors and some lower ones. So these red books here, this is what I just showed you. So the way you get the books is in an event, they're going to give you like pages. So it's kind of up here, if you can see where I'm clicking in the upper left. There are these little red pages. Once you get enough of those pages, you can exchange it for a book. Okay? And then sometimes they'll give you like these, sometimes they'll give you these little red materials. Sorry, I misclicked again. They'll give you these little red materials that make ingots. So if you get 20 of those red materials, then you can make ingots as well. So you can see I have enough so I can make one. So that's kind of where that stuff comes from. Just know that those materials, they are not farmable. And they're a little bit more limited. So just make sure you focus on certain characters, max them out, make sure you have enough resources, right? All right, so back to where we were. So we just got the EX done. So now we're just going to move down the line here. So now we're going to go to the LD. So the LD will be in here. Sorry, if I was on the Enhanced tab, it would be quicker, but here it is. Here's the LD. The LD is an easy one. This is just like the 15 or 35. We just limit break it, put orbs in, and we're done. So this one, you don't need a book or anything. The LD is a very important weapon to a character. So the LD just goes blue, and that LD is free to sell. So I'm going to unlock that. Okay, and then we have to do the FR and the BT. So the FR should be up here. So here's the FR. Now the FR is a little bit different. So we can limit break with other FRs, or we have to use high power stones. So high power stones, basically, they're just a more premium power stone. And so you can actually make these by paying 20 power stones for one. It's a 20-to-1 trade-in. Or if you sell extra FRs, you can get these, right? So let's do a trade-in because I don't have enough. I need 8 and I only have 5. You need 12 total, but I have a dupe. So that dupe counts as 1, so I only need 8 more to finish it. So I'm going to go ahead and refine. And in this refine shop here, I can go to this high power stone exchange and I can get 3 of those. And I have to trade in 60 normal power stones to get 3. So I'm going to trade in and get those there. So now we're going to go back. Whoops, not wrong button. We're going to go back to the Enhance tab. And we're going to finish the FR out. So we're just got to find that FR again. Should be right down here. Perfect. All right, so put that in. Limit break with the 8 high power stones. If it actually wants to press. There we go. And then it will take a fair amount of orbs. 1,000. Okay, so now the FR, when it's done, is blue. Now, for a lot of characters, the FR will be their main equipment. And you see there, I got 2 force stones. So these force stones are what you do to do the force enhancements I showed earlier. Okay. So for characters that don't have a burst weapon, or if you don't have it, this you would not sell, and you keep this equipped to the character. Now, since this character has a burst weapon, I'm going to go ahead and I can actually sell that off, and I'm actually fine. And then we have to go ahead and upgrade his burst weapon, which is right here. So this is going to be like doing the EX pretty much, right? So we're going to take a bunch of these. So you max out the level. In this, you don't have to put dupes in or anything, but you max out the level, and then it needs a book. So it's going to be realizable. We have to put a burst book into it. And once again, this is just a limited resource. These they're now putting a lot in co-op shops. Like the current co-op shop had these. So I was in there earlier, and you could see them in there. Okay, and then you get an ingot when you put a book on it. So that's another way you get ingots. So when you use a book on anything, you'll get a corresponding ingot that fits that type. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to limit break with the 3 ingots. I'm going to put a bunch of orbs in. Perfect. And then we're going to hit yes, and we're going to max it out. All right, so now the BT is green, and that is done. And upgraded BTs actually can't be sold, so you don't have to worry about making that mistake. But yeah, you definitely keep that, right? So I'm going to show you guys this just so that, like, if you're a new player, you can be confident. I'm going to go into view sell. I haven't touched Vice yet, haven't equipped him with anything, right? I'm going to go to these weapons that I just had. So, like, this is his 15. Where's the 35? Oh, yeah, I passed the 35. Hold up. 15. Oh, I didn't unlock it. Here's the 35. Okay, and I'm just going to sell these right now. So you guys can tell you don't have to equip it to the character. You don't have to do anything. As long as it's not their main weapon that you're going to equip, you are free to just sell these. We're going to go up to the EX, which should be up here. Sorry, I have a million EXs. So this one right here we're going to sell, and we can sell the LD. And I can sell the FR even. So we're going to go ahead and find the FR, which is right here. Okay, so I'm going to sell all of this. Now, you do get some stuff refunded back, right? So when you sell like an EX, you get the 20 red ingot materials to make an ingot. When I sell the FR, I get high power stones back that I can use to upgrade another FR. And then when you sell regular weapons, you get power stones, which you can use as dupes into other weapons, right? So when I max out a character, I actually get refunded a bunch of the materials back, which is really, really nice. So all that stuff I just sold, and I'm confident. Like, I haven't touched Vice. It's fine. I red check marked it. It's all good. Those are free to sell. We have all those passives, right? All right, so let's go back to the upgrade page. So we'll go back in here. We'll continue our journey, right? Once again, it's kind of a process. There's a lot here. So weapons, 6 out of 6. We have them all. And this is another way. It'll confirm. It'll show you the red check marks here. It says we own those passives. We're good. Now we got to do armors. So armors, we have 3 of them. So we have 2 kind of lower armors and then the 1 higher armor. So we're going to go ahead. And these... So new characters, some of them, when they come out with like story quests and stuff, they'll actually give you a copy of their first armor for free. But you pretty much have to buy all of the armors from the exchange shop. So we're going to go into the exchange shop. Oh, and actually this is cool. It doesn't even take me to the shop. It just lets me do it right here. This is very slick. So I'm just going to hit auto. It's going to give me the amount of copies I need. So I need 4 copies of the weak armor. So we're going to buy that. Okay, and then I click the Enhance tab, and the way the armor works, you can't just buy it all. You kind of have to max out the first one, then it lets you buy the next one. So just from this window, we can go ahead and we can upgrade with these guard orbs. And this first weapon, it's like the 15 CP ones. It just goes blue, and then you're free to sell it. You don't have to do anything else after that, okay? And then we're going to go back to the Enhance tab. So now we go to the next armor. We can click the exchange. It'll let me buy it right here. This is the best part about the new way. This is way quicker. And then we hit the Enhance button. And then we just limit break it. Hit orbs. Confirm. Yes, yes. And we're good from right there. So that armor. Now this armor needs a book, so it takes me right to the book page. This is super slick. I put a book in it. And actually the weapon one would have did the same thing, but I kind of did that outside of the tab. And then we got to put the ingots in. So this is just like an EX weapon, but it's the armor. Whoops, and I forgot to put the orbs in. Okay. Perfect. So that weapon, or that armor, is now purple. So that one's good. We hit the back button. It's going to take us right back to the page. Now we hit the high armor. So this one uses a different token. So that's these purple tokens. So these are a more limited resource. So make sure you get them when you can. They're from co-op shops, from events, missions, things like that. You can't farm them. Okay, so we need to enhance that. And then that has its own ingots. And these are probably these in the BT, but this is probably more premium than BT now, because they started adding a lot of BT materials to the shops, whereas this is still pretty dang limited. So then we have to put a book. So these are like the Lufenia armor books, we call these. Put the book on. We're going to get the ingot. Yep. Perfect. And we're going to put 3 ingots in, do some orbs. And then this will be the blue armor. Now, this step here, you guys, you can just have the base armor. Like, you don't have to blue this, but it does make a character better if you do, but it's like way less important than the weapons, right? So if you can't afford to do that on every character, don't do it. Only on the characters you really, really want to use. All right, so the armors are done. So now we're getting pretty close. So let's circle back here. So now that I have the weapons done, let's go back up to training boards. And we can do this first one, which is enhancement boards. So what this is all these paths will unlock as you unlock the weapons. You just hit auto here. And it's taking a minute because it's a lot to fill in. But we're just going to hit auto. It should fill in everything. There we go. And I'm going to hit unlock. So this is 13,000 enhancement points. Okay, and then that just unlocks. And you do want to do this. This is a very important part of the character. You want to make sure you do that. So that's why the enhancement points are so important. All right, so that part is done on Vice. Once again, summon boards, I'll go after the video and finish those up, but I showed you the process for that. Then we have something called a bloom. So the bloom you have to get from the bloom token exchange. Blooms are super easy. You have the actual bloom itself, and then you have like bloom materials to upgrade it. These are just in the co-op shop. They're very obtainable, easy to get. I have like a super mega access of these. And then you just have to limit break it. So you just use these bloom materials or fragments, and you just upgrade it. And it just takes you right there from this page. And then that bloom turns blue. You don't sell them. They just sit there forever. But this upgrades one of their skills, which is called the AA ability. They're just like quick instant turn like buffs that typically characters have. So just know that the bloom is important because it upgrades a character's ability. Then we're going to go down. We have to do artifacts. Now, artifacts I won't have for Vice yet because he's a brand new character. But there is a couple ways to farm these. The main way you want to farm these artifacts is actually in co-op. But if you're doing a character that doesn't have a co-op, then you can do something called the Radiant Artifact Token Quest, which is the top button. It's a quest you can grind, you can get tokens, and then you could go into this higher artifact exchange here. And sure, I'll just exchange for a bunch. Now, these are like weaker ones, but sure, I'll just grab some just to show that you can upgrade them, right? So let me go into the high artifact exchange. No, I do have them. Okay, so then I'm going to go into the enhanced page. So when you do actually start to obtain artifacts, you go in here. Normally, you're going to do this with gold ones. I'm just doing it with silver because that's what I have right now. I'm just going to hit auto, and it's going to use materials and upgrade these. And then what happens is you get these passives on a character that will give them stats, and the character can equip 3 of them. If you watch my character guides, I will talk about for each character which ones I recommend putting on the character. So for now, I mean, these are all kind of crappy, so whatever. They'll just sit there. So that's artifacts, but normally you'll do the gold ones. If you have a Mog Pass, oh geez, I'm in an infinite loop. Hold on, abandon passives. Okay, if you have Mog Pass, it'll guarantee that you get orange passives, which are like the best ones you can get. So it's a huge time saver, and you only have to buy the cheap Mog Pass for that. I totally think it's worth it, especially if you're a newer player and you haven't maxed out characters yet, but you don't have to. Okay, all right, so back to enhance. The last thing is the spheres. So the spheres you obtain in two ways. Why? Okay, scroll down. So we'll go activate spheres. So in this sphere screen, spheres, once again, they're just spheres that give you stats to the character. They're obtained in two ways. One way is from maxing out EX weapons. When you max out an EX weapon, let me find an example. Here's an example. So let's look at Dark Knight Cecil. So if you get one like this, where it's like a full sphere, like the circle's like big and shiny, this is the full version of the sphere that comes from the EX weapon, and it gives some stat boost. You can also get refined ones, which they kind of look a little bit more geometric. They're not as round. These ones you can get during like co-op quests and stuff, and you can just make these, but they're like half as good as the normal ones. But it's a great free-to-play way to just like grind up these to put on characters if you want to. So those are spheres, right? Now Vice, I'll put spheres on him and make selections later on before that. But other than that, guys, I think that is all of the steps to fully max out a character. So if you guys are a new player and you still have questions or you're not sure how to max out a character, please hit me up in the comments or join my Discord. Hopefully this video helps. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.